Hey guys, happy Saturday to you. I've got a little update. Haven't gotten much done again, just because things. And what little I've done has actually just been touch-up work on the SBD. I've got the cockpit touched up. There was some blue leak over here, and there was also some places I had to cover over. Touched up all along the bottom, and have started the detail work on the wheels and on the engine. Still having fun, but again, it's hard to find time to get everything done. You can see through the bottom there. There's a little clear piece that will go into there for the bombardier, or the pilot, to find his target, and then he would roll over and dive this way. Very interesting. I'll see if I can find. There's a guy who did a history of the SBD for War Thunder video. And he covered a whole bunch of it really well. I'll see if I can find that link and put it in the description. But anyway, still slowly slogging on with this. The fires have dimmed a little bit, but I'm going to finish it up so I can get back to my other work. I had promised some guys to show my Waffen SS, which this is. I've got kind of a small force. You can see in here I've got more in the thing that I'm not going to get out. But these are the Warlord Games metal Waffen SS, which yeah, we should get more light on these, but oh well, backlit is not good. Let's move the camera. You can see me, and now you can kind of see. There we go. But these are nice little models. These are the all metal ones. I think they're coming out with some plastic ones, which will be cheaper, though a little bit more difficult to put together, because these guys, literally all I had to do was put their heads on. But camo is all hand painted, because this was before I had an airbrush. Here's a Panther tank. Don't have any of the decals on here, just because I keep forgetting to put them on. But this was again easy to put together. If you can see on the bottom, basically it was 2 sets of resin tracks that glued onto the body, and then the turret and the cannon were another piece. So it was basically a 5, 6, 7 piece model, because the skirts here are metal and glued on. Also have a Hetzer. Hetzer's gonna Hetz. Fun little tank. I actually had another Panther and a Tiger, but the post office ran over my package with evidently a forklift, because they snapped 3-inch thick piece of resin completely in half, and yeah, you don't really do that by accident. It was pretty impressive, actually. And I had to send some of it back, and I should have just boxed it all up and mailed it back to Warlord Games, and then just had them replace the whole thing. But I wanted to keep what wasn't broken, and then I didn't tell them all the stuff that had been broken, and they sent back the wrong things. I sent it back to them, and they sent it back to me, and it still had kind of the wrong stuff in it. And at that point I was like, oh, whatever, I'll just keep what I've got. I'm sure that they would have fixed it all had I completely done everything right on my end, but I didn't, so stupid me. Anyway, I have managed to get back onto eBay, which is a bad thing for me. And I got this. I had one of these for a while. It's the Tsar Boris of Kislev, and it's a dude riding a bear. And I'm sure that Kislev is not going to exist in the Warhammer 9th edition that's coming out, and no telling what will actually exist in that, but well, that's another story for another day, or probably at the end of this video. I also found the Warhammer 30th anniversary model. That's the White Dwarf riding on the shoulders of a Slayer and Bugman, which had I been a good videographer, I would have had this out before I started talking. See, there's the White Dwarf's body. It's the shield bearer, just like the Dwarven King on his shields, with his shield bearers. And boop, boop, boop. See there, you've got the Slayer and Bugman, and then the White Dwarf rides on the shield as they cart it about on their shoulders. Which, I'll pick that up later. So that was fun, and it was a find. It was from Japan. A guy in Japan had one of these models. I paid $10 for it. So you know, can't argue with that one. I won't tell you how much I paid for its Ouroboros because that one's not so much. But I have evidently a fetish for collecting all the old metal models. I have some of the fine cast that GW made, and it's not bad for run-of-the-mill models, but if you want a character model, the metal for me is so much better because it lasts better. My office gets kind of hot in the summer, and had a librarian model, the librarian and Terminator armor for my Grey Knights army, and it just didn't, it sat on the shelf for a while up here, and it only got up to like 80, 85 degrees in the office, which is still pretty warm, but the staff warped. And, you know, this is at post-painting, and then the piece of the super glue is supposed to soak into the fine cast and make it immovable. I ended up having to pin it all to keep it all together. So, you know, no telling about that. I haven't forgotten these guys. I think I showed them several times, but they're 64 pikemen, the last of the last, and they will all get painted as time goes by. I have been reading all the end time stuff. Yeah, I did buy hardback. I have Nagash and the softback because I just really didn't get into them until much later. And I have not read Kane and probably will not buy it because it's only an ebook format, and the price is no different than had it been. Well, no, actually I think the Kane ebook is much cheaper than the hardbacks of these. But if they release a softback, I might get it just so I can have the complete set. But you know, it's an interesting read. Everybody Dies, the end. I'm sure if you haven't read the last page, you can find it on just search last page of Archaon, and you'll be able to read the end page, and it's either good or bad depending on who you ask. And I'm going to wait till 9th edition comes out before I throw my hat into the ring about whether it's good or bad. But you know, it's fun. Everybody Dies, the end. Nobody wins, everybody loses, that sort of thing. Chaos reigns triumphant, but even I think chaos dies except for the great gods. But spoiler alert on that one, sorry. But anyway, it's interesting and it's fun to read. And it's making me really want to play Fantasy Battle again, but nobody plays around where we are. I did play, I think I mentioned last time, I did play some Fantasy Battle with the Hail Caesar rules a couple weeks ago, and that was fun. It really nerfs magic, which I think is a little ridiculous at times in the Games Workshop fantasy stuff, but that's what people like, so whatever. I like tactics and movements of troops, and there's no fun in saying, I've got my guys into position, and oh, it's a purple sun, I'm dead. Oh well. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a good Saturday. I hope that you guys get all your modeling done and everything. I'm anxiously waiting for the May painting challenge for Warboss Tay, so we'll see my Nagash model take shape. I'm really tempted to put it together and prime it before May because I'll have to prime it outside, and May starts getting really humid here in North Carolina and the priming doesn't work so well. So we'll have to see. If I get bored one weekend, I may slap it together real quick and make it into a decent looking model in pieces, because I'll have to I watched the How to Build It by Games Workshop, and I think their building instructions and painting instructions are pretty good. I may follow their painting color scheme, and then I may come up with one of my own. We'll have to see. Anyway, hope you guys are having fun and enjoy your Saturday. Where's that off button?